one. So in Africa, we are West Africa, we are number 1. Africa, we are 2. And the world, we are 38. And you know how many countries we have in the world? Strong and resilient economy. Until COVID, Ghana was among the fastest growing economies in the world, with about 7.8% of GDP. Human capital advantage, highly educated, youthful population, better trade logistic infrastructure, vast and diverse natural resource endowment. Ghana is endowed with a lot of natural resources, and to date, we are exporting a lot of these resources in their raw state. So there's a need to attract both capital and know-how to add value to these raw materials. And indeed, this is applicable to almost all the African countries, that we need capital and technology to add value to our resources. Enabling and competitive business environment. Ghana, for those who have visited, and I think the lady said it, has great hospitality by nature. The people in Ghana are created to smile. One of the fastest growing digital economies in the world. We believe that you don't have to invent a wheel. We cannot go through what other countries have gone through in order to reach development. We've got to certainly leapfrog, and digitalization is the name of the game. Ghana is in the process of submitting a homeland bill to provide a fast-track, clear, distinct, and simplified pathway to citizenship for diasporan Africans. For the draft, I have with me a copy of the draft law, which we have cleared with authorities here in the US and within the ECOWAS. This will get to Cabinet in June, and in the 3rd quarter of this year, we'll have the Homeland Return Act passed in our parliament. Incentives for investing in Ghana. Ghana has a number of incentives, but the most attractive is the nature of the Ghanaian, as I said. Created to smile, so you have
Free smile.
free smile, and the people are naturally cooperative, and I know that foreigners really enjoy Accra and Ghana. We have custom duty exemption for capital goods and equipment, automatic immigrant quota depending on paid up capital, relate the number of people who come in with also the inflow of the capital. It's been working very smoothly. Strategic investment incentive, specific incentives packages can be negotiated in addition to the existing ones. For free zone companies, the following also apply. We have established a free zone production mechanism. And Ghana's free zone is different from what obtains in many countries. In many countries, you have geographical map drawn out and demarcated for free zone. Ghana, yes, we do have part of Tema, but free zone business in Ghana can be located in any part of Ghana and to be zoned as a free zone, and you enjoy all the relevant incentives that go with operating in the free zone. You are not restricted to any part of the country. There's that freedom, which is very different from what obtains in many countries. So we have our free zone enclave, could be in Kumasi, could be in Tamale, could be any part of this country, and you enjoy the following: 100% exemption from payment of direct and indirect duties and levies on all imports for production and exports. 100% exemption from payment of income tax on profits for 10 years, which will not exceed 15% thereafter. Total exemption from payment of withholding tax from dividends arising out of free zone investment. Relief from double taxation for foreign investors and employees, where Ghana has a double taxation agreements with the country in the investors or employees country. Ghana has signed over the years a number of double taxation agreements with various countries, and they all apply to those who operate in the free zone, so that those who make profit, if you are taxed in Ghana and you are an American, you will not be taxed in the US on the same amount. 100% ownership of shares by any investor, foreign or national. Free zone investors are permitted to operate foreign currency accounts with Bank of Ghana, meaning that if you are operating the free zone and your country's original currency, the US, you have a direct account in Bank of Ghana and smooth transmission of your resources in and out because you're operating the free zone, and no evasion is put to the flow of your money because you may need raw materials, etc., etc. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Africa is a continent of wealth by natural resources, particularly mineral deposits, arable lands, and favored weather, as well as youthful population. The problems you have here with the temperature going 0 and -0, we don't have that one. And therefore, our dressing is very simple and easy. And that is also an attraction. And this applies to many African countries. We have no problem with the weather, and we have no problem with nature. Things move smoothly. However, it lacks the needed, what Africa and Ghana also lack the needed financial resources and technical expertise to take advantage of its wealth to transform itself into a giant continent. It's not enough to have the natural resources. In fact, sometimes you see many countries in Africa with a lot of natural resources, but they are really underdeveloped. Because what you really need is to use these natural resources, and you need capital to do so. You need know-how to do so. You need market to also sell your final product. So anytime we're talking about trade, I'm very interested, because without trade, without active trade, what is value addition? You must sell your product to enable you to continue to be in business. In addition, most of the products and minerals coming from Africa and exported in their raw state. Hence, Africa ends up earning less than 10% of the global market of the various key products coming out of it. For instance, and this is interesting, Ghana and Ivory Coast produce about 65% of global cocoa beans, about 65%, Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire combined. Yet, they earn less than 10% of the total billion-dollar chocolate industry. Last year, the two of us combined, we earned about 9.2% of the total chocolate industry business in the world. So it gives you an idea about the disadvantage of exporting raw. Literally, all the beans Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire sent out, what the chocolate factories made, ours was about 10% of it. Even though we are supplying 100% the raw material. So naturally, value addition is important. The Africa is said to have a population of about 1.3 billion and a combined GDP of 3.4 trillion. It is said to be the world's poorest and most undeveloped continent, with a GDP that accounts for just 2.4% of global GDP and accounts for only 3% of global trade. This is certainly not good enough. So that the establishment of the continental free trade, to me, should have been done yesterday, but it's better late than never. Now that 52 African countries have signed on to it, it provides a forum for development. And since it is located in Accra, Ghana, it gives Ghana a very big advantage. With the establishment of this continental free trade in Ghana, there's a huge opportunity for Africa to break their trade barriers and adopt common standards on trade and investments to be able to negotiate well with US and other key development partners. The chief executive of the Continental Free Trade happens to be a South African, and his deputy is from Morocco. We've tried to give the executive running it African touch so that everybody will feel belonging. Africa must industrialize and digitalize its economy if they are to be relevant in global trade. These two policies are sine qua non to development, and we are pleading to the Africans, the diaspora, that they should look at Africa as the location for their investment. We know that many of African Americans have made it in the US, and they are investing around the US, stretch to Africa and carry out that investment. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency the Vice President in Ghana, in his recent lecture at the Ashasi University on digitalization of the Ghanaian economy said, and I quote, "The reality is that in this era, if you don't digitalize, you will not have much of an economy. You must digitalize to have an economy." And Ghana is doing so fast, so briskly, that we want to have an economy that is relevant not only in Africa, but in the world. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to congratulate the US government, leadership of Washington, D.C., and the organizers for the continuous celebration of the Black History Festival. I wish you well in the coming programs of the week, and continue to appeal to African Americans that look at Africa for your investment and consider Ghana as number one. Thank you very much.